A monk is slowly walking along a dirt road when he hears a galloping horse approaching. He turns and calls out to the man riding it, "Where are you going?" The man shouts back, "I don't know, ask the horse," and disappears into the distance. That horse represents our unconscious mind. It's the collection of our immediate needs, hidden desires, ingrained habits, and baseline traits. Without an active sense of self-awareness, we spend our lives simply sitting in the saddle. We react to whatever direction the animal decides to run, instead of actively steering our course. To stop being a passenger, we have to map out the exact traits that build our behavior, and learn how to recognize when those traits become rigid and dangerous. Our starting point is personality, a highly specific cluster of thoughts, feelings, and behaviors shaped by our temperament and our environment. To measure these traits clinically, we look at this diagram known as the 5-factor model. It evaluates an individual's behavior across 5 primary dimensions. The first dimension is openness. This measures a person's curiosity, their flexibility, and their overall drive to experience new things. Next is consciousness, which tracks self-discipline. This is the trait governing reliability, listening to your conscience, and completing work on time. Then we plot extroversion. This captures sociability, general talkativeness, and the confidence to navigate large gatherings. The final 2 are agreeableness, your capacity for kindness and cooperation, and neuroticism, which measures your tendency toward anxiety and self-doubt. These 5 dimensions create a map of a healthy, functioning mind. They dictate how we relate to the world around us. This is your baseline horse, but a healthy mind relies on adaptability. When these baseline traits deviate from normal expectations and lock into rigid, unhealthy patterns, the animal starts pulling against the rider. In psychology, this extreme breaking point is classified as a personality disorder. It's a long-term pattern of thought and behavior that causes lasting distress. Take the case of a homemaker named Varsha. She has security cameras monitoring her house, yet she constantly tracks and spies on her maid. This points to what clinicians call cluster A, suspicious disorders. Disorders in this group, like paranoid or schizoid types, warp standard caution into total, irrational mistrust. The individual becomes detached and emotionally isolated from reality. Then there is cluster B, the emotional and impulsive disorders. These are defined by wildly unstable moods and incredibly volatile relationships. Consider a high school student named Sunny. When he receives bad grades, he doesn't try to learn from the mistake. Instead, he spirals into deep depression and quickly lashes out with aggressive anger against his classmates and teachers. Whether diagnosed as antisocial, borderline, or narcissistic, people with cluster B disorders frequently harbor a deep lack of self-worth. They mask that emptiness with explosive, dramatic outbursts. On the opposite end of the spectrum is cluster C, anxious disorders. Here, feelings of worry and fear are so intense they completely disrupt a person's daily routine. We see this in patients like Shika, an elderly woman who obsessively washes her hands 20 times a day. Her fear of contamination is so paralyzing that she refuses to interact with her own grandchildren. Whether it manifests as the outward aggression of cluster B or the paralyzing internal fear of cluster C, the result is a total loss of the rider's control. In both states, the animal is running entirely blindly, and the passenger has completely lost the ability to steer. Pinpointing the boundary between a healthy personality trait and a rigid disorder is a constant, ongoing test. This graph illustrates the first crucial step for taking back control. It charts emotional highs and lows over a 7-day period. Building a daily, objective habit of tracking these shifts allows you to see the patterns before they take over. Supporting the mind requires physical intervention as well. Looking after your physical health and engaging in therapeutic hobbies like music or painting creates an environment where a healthy mind can actually function. You also have to force a cognitive shift in how you process the world. That means deliberately altering your vocabulary, replacing words like problems with terms like challenges. Real self-awareness is an active, daily process of stepping out of the passenger seat, taking the reins, and consciously choosing your own destination. It is the transition from being driven by your traits to actively driving them.